Welcome to the LivXplore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe. Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Payne, owner and founder of LivXplore Real Estate and Lifestyle, and I have with me our founding agent, Isaiah Chass. Isaiah, thanks for joining.
Of course. We got some pretty important stuff to talk about today with the real estate industry.
Yeah, exactly. I think the topic of this podcast is that history is starting to repeat itself, and that experience and expertise matters in this market. And when I say that history is starting to repeat itself, what I'm starting to see is messaging is similar now in some regards to what was happening during the foreclosure crisis or prior to the foreclosure crisis that way. And so I just think it's good to provide a little bit of perspective that way of kind of what's going on out there. So,
especially in a time right now that it is so crucial to have good knowledge and someone that provides expertise in their field. You know, I could get off topic, but no matter what industry it's in, it's so important to have someone that's knowledgeable about their craft, especially in this business right now when we're in a market that is challenging to navigate. If you don't have someone helping you through that, I think it's pretty easy to get lost and or make a pretty bad decision.
Yep, no, exactly. You're right. You know, I think we're back in a market where, you know, again, experience matters, and those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And that's what we're starting to see right now. You if you're a real estate professional, if you're, you know, a realtor or a mortgage broker, you don't necessarily have to have gone through the last market, but you vicariously have had to gone through the last market. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to have someone that's explained to you or advising you exactly what happened last time. And what I'm hearing more and more now is that, I'm hearing more and more about those 3-2-1 buy downs, the 2-1 buy downs. And I really don't like those products because, they're totally different than the last time when we had adjustable rate mortgages, which was a big part of why we got into the foreclosure crisis. Totally different product. I get that. You have to be well qualified for this, and you have to be qualified at the highest rate, not the teaser rates, but the highest rate. So I totally get that. But the economy is dropping, and that's going to continue. And so what happens is that in a perfect world, when someone gets a 3-2-1 buy down, what they would do is with that lower mortgage monthly rate, they would save and bank that money, that difference.
Right.
And then they would be in an okay situation. That's a perfect situation where they're building up a little reserve, and in that situation, if something happens, then they're okay. But here's the real world: is that person secures that lower monthly mortgage payment, and then they're feeling like a little bit more financially sound, and when they need to buy that new car and they're going to finance it, well, they tend to buy that more expensive car or the one with the more versions and options that are a little bit more expensive. And what happens is, like, at the end of that year, 18 months or something, their monthly expenditures really are where it would have been before with, let's just say, a fixed rate mortgage, but they've added additional expenses. And so what happens is, like, as a couple years go by, like a 3-2-1 buy down, you have a substantially lower monthly payment that first year, and then the next year it's a little bit higher, and the next year it's a little bit higher, and then it goes back to that fixed rate. And what happens in this type of economy is that, okay, everything's good right now, you can totally afford this, you can qualify at that final rate, you can totally do that. But if you don't make sound decisions, and again, like, this is what happened last time, and it's natural that way, it's not a perfect world where people overextend themselves in that time, and then the economy changes, maybe they have to take a pay cut, maybe they lose their job, maybe their spouse loses their job, something goes wrong, and that way, and then they're in a bind.
Right.
And
And the other thing I see with that is that obviously it's the way that a 3-2-1 and a 2-1 buy down is set up is obviously the biggest price difference is in that first year. If we had a crystal ball where the market would be in a year, that would be a whole different conversation. But I think no matter who you talk to, we're probably not going to be in a better market or economy in general in 12 months than we are right now.
Right.
So where does that put you in
Exactly.
a financial position 12 months down the road?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're very disciplined and you're going to put that money that you save away, then do it. Okay, go for it. But a lot of people say, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And no, I mean, how many times do we hear someone say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to have an impound account on a mortgage because I'm just going to save it. And a lot of people do save money for their property taxes. But a lot of times people say, oh, no, I'm not going to have an impound account. And they don't budget it. And then they're scrambling to come up with funds to pay their property taxes. Kind of like the same principle here.
Right.
Is that if you're disciplined enough to put that money aside, great. But most people aren't. And then what happens is that if you've bought your home recently, you may not have enough equity to sell your home and come out of it whole. You may be in like what's called a short sale situation, which can hurt your credit for a few years that way. So it's just really important to listen to people that have been through this last time. I'm a big advocate of the 7-1 ARMs and the 10-1 ARMs because they have really good interest rates. Well, there's a caveat to that. Not everyone has really good interest rates. There's some banks out there, Supreme Lending, who I work with quite a bit, has really great rates on these 7-1 and 10-1 ARMs. But
they're
like
also
those.
better on the jumbo side compared
Yep.
to the non-jumbo.
Yeah, you're right. But I like those products because you're in a fixed rate mortgage. You know exactly where you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and you can budget accordingly. And you're not going to I think you're less likely to overextend yourself with those products that way. And no one's crystal ball is totally clear right now. So, I would think that everyone's saying, 2024 is supposed to be kind of the rebound year after that. A lot of people said that we weren't going to be hit nearly that hard and maybe wouldn't even be in a recession. So in the event it's worse than 2024, you just want to kind of count on that. You don't want to get especially in like a 2-1 buy down or something where
Totally.
It's much shorter that way. So just be very, very cautious and think this through. I see again like a lot of people pumping up these mortgages, and I just don't think they exactly know what they're talking about that way. And it's going to be because they haven't seen like what happens when an economy downturns and when people lose their jobs and things like that. And I see mortgage brokers who have been through it before that are advocating these loans, and I ask them, maybe they don't have the access to the 7 and 10-1 ARMs at better rates or something like that. But gosh, it just doesn't seem like this is the best messaging out there right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I see is that interest rates rising, it brought that business to a halt, the mortgage business. And I think a lot of people were trying to come up with a solution to be able to get people into homes and get that monthly payment lower so that people would be able to make it possible.
People get into loans, and I mean, there's mortgage brokers and realtors that need to close deals.
Right.
So like everyone's pretty hungry right now. So just
and
make
that's
sure
their shiny penny to make it
Yes.
seem like something that will work, but in reality, it's probably not going to put you in that much better of a position down the road.
Well, it potentially, if you're not very careful, it could put you in a really bad position. And again, like if you bought in the last couple of years, you could find yourself in a situation where you have to sell and you don't have any equity. If you bought 5 years ago, well, then you're okay and you can sell and you're going to come away with some equity. But you could find yourself in a bad situation. And I just don't think people are thinking that through that way. And I do think there's going to be opportunities here in real estate. But again, use someone that is experienced or has has someone that's feeding them good advice, like a good brokerage or a good team or something that way that's looking over data and trends and talking about the past. And again, I just hear a lot of things that I'm hearing last time that way.
Totally.
So.
Yeah, we have a huge stack of data and analytics that we are able to look at and analyze and see what's going on, not only in our community, but areas that have a great effect on our regions, like stemming from the Bay Area and coming north. And I think it's really important, no matter who you're working with, to make sure that it's someone that has a strong grasp on what's happening in the markets, and especially in hyperlocal areas, that it really is important to know what's going on.
No, that's true. I mean, we spend, a substantial amount of time every week, every Tuesdays at our office meeting, going over and diving into data and seeing if we can spot any trends, short, long term, anything going on that way. So, I've been through it before, and I certainly harp about these type of things at our meetings. So I think that the message is pretty clear that way. So, I think that's pretty much it in terms of like just you have to have someone experienced out there.
Read the fine print, see what you're getting yourself into before you make a decision.
Yeah, exactly. So Again, my name is Sean Payne, owner and founder of LivXplore Real Estate and Lifestyle. And Isaiah, thank you for joining us again today. And if you have any questions about the market, mortgage or real estate, we're happy to try to get them answered for you. If you can't, we can put the appropriate people in front of you to get them answered. And please like and subscribe to this channel so that you can see more of us in the future.
See you guys next time.
Have a good day.
Welcome to the LivXplore podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit like and subscribe.